Problem properties all over Memphis, but this one isn't abandoned, and residents want to know why they can't get help with the snakes, weeds, and rats. I'm On Your Side investigator April Thompson. That story coming up.
Forget beer or liquor. Why hand sanitizer? Yes, hand sanitizer is becoming the drink of choice for a teenager. New at 5, he was facing the death penalty, accused of burning a man alive, but now he'll spend the rest of his life in prison after pleading guilty.
Good evening, I'm Ralph Small.
And I'm Raven Phillips. 22-year-old Markel Jackson was one of 3 people charged with murdering Kelvin Cooper, a robbery victim who was forced into the trunk of his car, doused with gasoline, and set on fire. Jackson's guilty plea means he has no chance for parole. The 2 other defendants are still waiting for their trials.
A man crashes his car into a sign at an Orange Mound convenience store after he'd been shot outside another. Police say the 40-year-old victim crashed his car into the BP sign at Lamar and Pendleton early this morning. He'd been shot in the side about 100 yards away at a store on Kimball. Right now, he's in critical condition. Coming up at 6, how community members are coming together to demand a stop to the senseless violence.
The man accused of trying to run over a Memphis police officer is now sitting in jail on $100,000 bond. 24-year-old Dexter Price is charged with aggravated assault and felony theft. Last week, Price and his friend were pulled over during a traffic stop. The driver of the car got out, and police say Price got in the driver's seat and tried to hit them, then took off. He was arrested yesterday.
A fight between 2 men in North Memphis got out of control when one of the men used an axe in the attack. One man was leaving a convenience store when police say the other one walked up and started swinging. WRAG's Brett Martin reports. Witnesses told us they weren't even shocked by what they were seeing.
Witnesses say they watched as one man came around the corner and attacked another man who had just come out of L&G Grocery. The victim told police the suspect hit him several times with an axe. This man told us it looked more like a pipe and says it all happened so fast.
It was like a cartoon scene. One man ran chasing him. It was like a cartoon scene.
Police say Theodore Leach swung the axe at Thomas Finley several times, cutting his right arm. Leach is now facing a charge of attempt.
Theodore Leach is locked up on $200,000 bond. Leach was previous charges related to weapons and drugs.
Happening now, hundreds of Pinnacle pilots across the nation are expected to lose their jobs as the Memphis-based regional airline deals with bankruptcy. Pinnacle Airlines announced to furlough 450 pilots in the next year and a half. Some of those furloughs are happening now and will affect pilots here in Memphis. WRAG's Brett Martin is in the newsroom now with a closer look at numbers.
We're told 46 pilots nationwide are going to be let go by the middle of next month. The rest of the furloughs are going to come in waves through 2014.
No one wants to lose their job.
This is going to mean turmoil for our pilots.
Pinnacle Airlines says 450 pilots are going to be furloughed as the company eliminates 34% of its fleet and cuts ties with United Express and U.S. Airways. It's dealing with bankruptcy. Delta is expected to be its only remaining mainline partner. Tom Wyquar with the pilots union says pilots with the least.
Weicker says Pinnacle has 350 pilots based here in Memphis, but he doesn't know yet how many of them will be furloughed. Reporting live in the newsroom, Brett Martin, WRAG News Channel 3.
You don't want to see where you live, a problem property attracting everything from snakes to rats. Neighbors in one part of South Memphis say they started fighting the pests years ago, all while the property owner has been living inside the house. Unable to get help, they called News Channel 3 On Your Side investigator Brett Martin. He had some answers that might be useful if it happens to you. Brett?
We get calls all the time about the problem properties all over Memphis and Shelby County. Often neighbors are at the end of the ropes over what to do. It's gotten to the point for folks off Grand Opera Cove.
We saw a couple snakes. We saw a rat about the size of a cat.
This house on Grand Opera Cove has become an eyesore for neighbors. They say they are fed up with the high weeds, rotten wood, rats, snakes, and the elderly disabled homeowner using his yard as a toilet.
I walked at the door and dashes urine right out in the yard, and there's other stuff and everything. Go right out in the yard.
Memphis code enforcement say they haven't received complaints about the home since 2010 when they issued citations. They're going back today. If you have a problem property, you can push to get it cleaned up. Call the Memphis Citizen Service Center or the County Mayor's Action Center. Property owners have 3 days to clean up sewage and 10 days for trash and weeds. After that, it could be court. Reporting in the newsroom, Brett Martin, WREG, On Your Side Investigators.
It's generally used to keep your hands clean and prevent from getting sick, but it's being used for much more.
I think it's pretty ridiculous, pretty dumb. Why don't you just drink alcohol, instead of beer? Instead of hand sanitizer, it's pretty idiotic.
Drinking hand sanitizer, just when you think you've heard it all, another disturbing drinking trend that's on the rise.
Also ahead, could the major you choose in college determine how much you pay? It's going on a lot at more schools than you may think.
You should listen to the president, or as I like to call him, the President of the United States.
The president staying up late to talk about the issues in a way you've never seen him before. Stay with us.